And he got a nice haircut. This guy looks stylish tonight. He knew we were having company and shit, and he cleaned up good. Got all clean. Hey, this guy's funny, you gonna love him? Please put your hands together for Mr. Kyle Allen!
That's up.
I think the GOP debate should have opened with a song. John Jacob Jesus Heimersmith, he's my Messiah too. I actually, like a couple days after the debate, I saw Donald Trump while I was eating at a Mexican restaurant. He was dubbed in Spanish. I don't know that you were allowed to do that. It's kind of like watching Hitler play with a dreidel while he's wearing a yarmulke. Well, it was a little introspective. I almost spit up my taco when I heard Spanish come out of his mouth. Chris Christie is an interesting fellow. He's part of that group of imbeciles. He actually wants to get rid of marijuana in the states where they've already legalized it, and he says that people who smoke pot are diseased. So he's saying my people are diseased. And I don't know what basis he has for that. He's like, well, they're coughing all the time. They must be sick. It's ridiculous. I do smoke weed. It's funny though, the worst thing I ever did while I was high was buy a movie I already owned. So they say it's the gateway drug. Bullshit, I just stimulated the economy by buying How High twice with Method Man and Redman, and the answer to that question was very high. But there's a lot of drugs that I won't do again. Cocaine being one of them, because I don't like spending time with strangers, grinding my teeth, talking about things I don't want to talk about. And when I got home, I was a serotonin-less zombie, and I wrote some poetry, and it was really bad. So I'm not going to do the poem anymore. It just kills the whole set. It was bad. That's all you need to know. Let's see what else here. I'm working on my confidence, and it's such a strange thing, confidence to me. It's like forced upon certain people. Like I work at a very corporate burger joint, and let's call it Blue Buzzard for legal purposes, because I believe they have bottomless lawyers on retainer. And we prejudge people, we do, and it's unfortunate, but I prejudge people by the things they say. And I saw them sit this group of just like suburban white people, and they're all in their little booth. There's like 16 of them, and I overhear one. They're like, "Oh, what does little Jeremy's shirt say there?" And he goes, "It says I run this show." And I look over at Jeremy, and he's biting his nails. He's like a little timid guy. It's like, okay, so Jeremy runs the show, but the pressure is killing him. But I don't know, I'm really trying to work on that concept of confidence, because it's like, how do you sell something that you don't exactly know what it is? It's like being a snake oil salesman back in the 1800s. It's a cocaine concoction with whiskey and it'll cure what ails you. It's like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about half the time up here, you know? Like, how do you be confident with that? But it's just a hurdle that everyone has to get over. You know, they say fake it till you make it, but that advice wouldn't work for anything else. It's like, you want to be an airline pilot? Fine, fake it till you make it. Just start pulling levers and shit. After a while, it'll all work out. So I was talking about the GOP earlier. So they want to defund Planned Parenthood in certain places, and I think that's a horrible idea. I think that they should actually extend the funding for Planned Parenthood and actually put it in every fast food restaurant. Because, I mean, if you see kids losing their shit and jumping all over booths and stuff, you're going to be a little more inclined to grab a bag of condoms as you leave. And also, if you take an RU486 with a Big Mac, your stomach won't know the difference. Thank you for laughing. That was a tough one to sell. Let's see. So I was talking about drugs earlier as well. I wouldn't do heroin if I was healthy. If I was a little bit older, I don't know, maybe I'd give it a shot. But there's one drug that really interests me. It's called dimethyltryptamine. And I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but it's DMT for short, and you can actually synthesize it from any living creature. And it's the chemical that's released when you die. So I am going to trip on DMT, even if it's the last thing I ever do. So in Washington, D.C., right now we're getting into reboots, and it's crazy. They're taking the same route that Hollywood took. And we're getting another Clinton running for office. We got another Bush running for office, and my bet's with Bernie Sanders, honestly, man, because he is like the grandpa I never had, telling me fairy tales. Tell me the one about free college again, Grandpa Bernie. Will we really rebuild our infrastructure? Only if you believe, Kyle. Only if you believe. And remember, you're never too big to fail. Don't get ahead of yourself here, Bernie. He got into there was some issues in Seattle, and I'm sure a lot of people in this audience heard about it. And I just want to say I'm not going to form an opinion with not knowing all the facts. But the fact that the Black Lives Matter people were booed can definitely say something about some of the people in Seattle. And I just want to say that, honestly. And that's as far as I'm going to go, but you got to understand with dumb white people, when it comes to like incidences of police brutality, it's just like on social media, it's just like avocados. We're learning new things every week about it. You can make guacamole? Oh shit. Sandra Bland did not kill herself. Okay. It's just, and that's all I'm going to say on that. That's all I'm going to touch on that subject, but I figured like something had to be said about that. That's a little ridiculous. But I like where Bernie's going with it. We stand together, you guys. We stand together. I'll say that. Let's see what I want to close with here. Do you guys like musicals at all? Fans of musicals? All right, I can't get into musicals, and there's one reason why. Is there's something in works of fiction called a suspension of disbelief, and that's when you suspend your belief enough, like that something crazy doesn't take you off guard. You can still enjoy the movie. But my whole thing is with a musical, I can never believe that someone will start singing a song and all of his friends will know all the choreography and all the words of that song. I call bullshit on that one. But I'm kind of a screwed up individual. I like musicals like Sweeney Todd and Little Shop of Horrors. Because you need like cannibalism with my song and dance. Alright, thank you very much, guys.
Second step is acceptance. Are you aware of the change?
One more time.